This is Andrew Dugill with Hoffman Realty Tampa Property Management, and this is another in our helpful blog series for landlords. And today what the blog is called is Investment Property How-Tos, what to do if you have mold in your property. And tenants are increasingly complaining about all types of airborne contaminants in properties, and certainly we've seen a large increase in mold complaints recently. Rarely a month goes by without a tenant complaining about mold, and probably about 80% of the time we find that the mold claims are benign. It's mildew in the shower, it's dust on the AC registers. However, mold is an area of really high potential liability for a landlord, so you have to take this seriously. And we have a 5-step system at Hoffman Realty that I would like to share right now. The first thing is, when a tenant complains of mold, get in there right away and do a visual inspection. We like to do it, if we can, if the tenant will let us in, within 24 hours of them complaining. So we get in there and we look for signs of mold, we smell to see if there's any damp odors that might indicate mold, and we use a moisture test meter that we put along the walls and the floors and the ceilings to see if there's any high moisture content in any of the walls that would indicate perhaps a leak that might be causing mold. If as a result of that visual inspection we suspect there could be a mold problem, the next step, step 2, is to hire a licensed mold testing contractor to perform an airborne sampling to see if there's airborne mold spores. And Florida has recently licensed those, so make sure it's a licensed mold tester. And if you suspect mold but the source of it is not very easy to find, you may want to have your licensed mold tester also try and locate the source. A lot of them have these infrared cameras that can look through walls and to find where the mold is coming from. Now, if that tester finds levels of mold above what you would normally expect, you're going to have to remediate the mold. And to remediate it, you need to hire, which is step 3, a licensed mold remediation contractor. Florida, again, regulates remediation contractors. They now have to be licensed, and they can get the mold out of the unit and clean the air. Now, if there's very high levels of mold, you want to get the tenant out of there. You want to terminate their lease. If the levels are not that high, we like to always offer to terminate the tenant's lease and if they want to stay and the levels aren't that high, then it's their decision and we allow them to stay. The 5th step is, once you've remediated the mold, you have to do what's called a clearance test. You've got to go back in and do another air sampling for airborne mold to make sure it's been cleared out, and we call that a clearance test. And at that point, the mold has been removed and you've removed the liability. So this is Andrew Dugill with Hoffman Realty Tampa Property Management. If you've got questions about the blog today, I'll be happy to hear from you.